The Game Awards announced the nominations a few days ago, and several of the nominations, or lack thereof, has many people upset and questioning the very integrity of the award show itself. Beginning with the most important category, Game of the Year. The first and most common criticism that I have seen is Resident Evil 4 being on this list. It is a remake of a 2005 game. It sparked a debate on if remakes should even be considered for Game of the Year, when it wasn't even originally made for 2023. Should building upon an already made and established game count enough as a new game to warrant this nomination? Personally, I don't think so. When you take into account aspects of games like script, music, hardware limitations, a whole litany of factors, this game did not come up with any of those. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below. The next problem people are pointing out, we mentioned the issue with Resident Evil 4, and two of the games everyone was basically expecting to be the only two that mattered on this list, namely Baldur's Gate 3 and Tears of the Kingdom, fit in quite nicely. So what's got people raising their eyebrows at the last three on the list? They all came out in October. Now, this may very well just be a coincidence, that these really are some of the top games to have come out this year, and they just so happen to all have come out last month. But there has been an ongoing criticism of this, and frankly many other award shows, of recency bias. The games freshest in people's memories do better, and it doesn't accurately reflect the timeless quality of the games. I've heard nothing but praise for Super Mario Bros. Wonder so far, but I cannot say the same for the other two. Alan Wake has had a fair bit of controversy, being referred to by many people as Alan Moke. The decision to pull the blonde-haired, blue-eyed main character and replace it with the famous Black Swede had folks upset, and the random white male bashing that happens on occasion isn't helping neither. The sheer lack of Alan Wake in the Alan Wake game is what has most people upset, however. This doesn't include the numerous complaints of game-breaking bugs that seems to still plague the game to this day. Spider-Man is not free of issues either. Many, and I mean many, have complained about how much the side missions sucked. People saying they were boring and unfulfilling to do. But even more than that, the portrayal of Peter Parker, the original and everyone's favorite Spider-Man, as some sort of inferior character to Miles Morales, has longtime fans of the series fuming. Here's just a couple of complaints I've dug out from the otherwise very positive pro-Spider-Man game subreddits. They destroyed Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2 PS5. I just finished playing the entirety of Spider-Man 2, and the graphics/gameplay and look were amazing, but the story was complete horseshit. Lol, this entire game, Peter is treated as either weak, low-level Spider-Man or a self-loathing wimp to everyone. In almost every major serious boss battle, he gets saved by either Miles or MJ because he can't do it on his own, or he gets the shit kicked out of him and the villain gets away. But Miles comes swinging in, takes Venom out with ease and other bosses like he's a veteran Spider-Man. I started to really dislike the Miles and MJ characters by the end, because at every corner they kept showing Peter as some weak, pathetic superhero that needs to be rescued every crucial moment of the game. It would be one thing if Peter saved Miles/MJ a couple of times as well, or actually wins a crucial boss battle by himself, but nope, not once. Like, bitch, this is Peter Parker. He just took on the whole Sinister Six by himself in the first game, but can't hold his own with Yuri/Venom/Kraven? Like, come on. It's like they're treating Parker like he's 35 to 38, not 25 in his prime. You can tell the developers have some sort of hatred or agenda for Peter in this game like no other. Does anyone else feel the same after playing this whole game? Next. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 treated Peter Parker bad. Anybody felt like two completely opposite groups of people wrote the story for this game? Like, it's a completely different vibe when you are following Peter. Story and missions are so focused and heartfelt on Spider-Man stuff. And then there's Miles. The entire purpose is their community and representation. You will see those influences when the two Spider-Men are together. The entire game, Peter keeps doubting himself and kept losing, and Miles has to come and save him. And I don't get how they're acting like Peter is old now and near his retirement age from Spider-Man. I mean, he may be older than Miles, but he is still just 23. Peter taking off the symbiote is one of the most personal things for him. Even that needed to be done by Miles. It's a complete shift from the first game, like they don't care about Peter anymore. Next, I'm disappointed at how weak Peter was in Spider-Man 2. He gets his ass kicked by everyone, and needs to use the symbiote's tendrils to even stand a chance. He gets overpowered by Kraven of all people. He cannot get himself out of tough situations and needs to get saved by someone else. And the worst part is, despite the marketing portraying Peter and Miles as equals, Miles does not get portrayed in this way. He is shown as being strong and competent and is allowed to have cool action sequences, as opposed to Peter's fights consisting of him being grabbed and thrown around by people. Honestly, I'm tired of it all. I might just give up on the Spider-Man franchise due to modern portrayals of Peter always making him extremely weak. I could go on, but you get the point. There is one last elephant, or lack of an elephant in this case, in the room for this category, and for the entire Game Awards as a whole: Hogwarts Legacy. This game, which was hyped up immensely and praised universally by people who didn't go around pretending Scary Wizard game is tantamount to genocide, is absent from every single category in the Game Awards. Was it truly that subpar that nothing about this AAA game was worth even nominating for an award? Or could it be that in order to not affect their ESG score, they purposefully snuffed it from even being nominated? Maybe they didn't want more stage hijinks by totally mentally stable individuals trying to protest silly wizard game. But I guess we won't know. But Game of the Year is not the only category that is embroiled in controversy, as several others has people questioning what the VGA is doing. But before we do that, I have a very important question for everyone. Do you like tea? Wrong. The answer is yes. Let's try this again. Do you like what you're seeing on screen? How about now? You can discover why you were wrong and who that waifu was by visiting the Dragon's Treasure, a haven for anime and tea lovers. This isn't a random company. This is my company that I have been running since 2015, and one of my main goals have been to take people who think they are not tea drinkers and showing them otherwise. And the results have been amazing. You can check out our Mana Potion, which turns your liquid blue and tastes like a sweet blueberry cheesecake. Maybe strawberries are more your jam. Check out our Strawberry White. Maybe you're looking for something a bit more rough. And then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, is a smoky tea that tastes like it was cooked over a campfire. Pyro Rum may be more your style for intense in-your-face flavor, or Aries Final Gift for something a little bit more soft and subtle. Nature's Beauty for the Jasmine, Christmas in a cup for that holiday taste. Over 100 teas to choose from. Buy some for yourself, or for a gift for a friend or family member. Buy it, or I'll have to keep making these adverts longer. Anyway, back to the plot. Now then, back to the other category controversies. They put Cyberpunk 2077 in the category of Best Ongoing Game. I'm gonna keep this nice and simple. It's not an ongoing game, period. There is no discussion about this. It's not a matter of loving or hating the game. A DLC does not make the game ongoing, and I would say the same thing for Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate when they get any DLC. This category is supposed to be reserved for seasonal, live service games. And no, taking 3 years to make your game finally playable does not make it ongoing. Next problem, Best Indie Game. Dave the Diver should not be on this list. I'm not talking about its quality. I'm talking purely in terms of what this category should be. It's like if you found it in Best Racing Game. It's simply not where it belongs. Dave the Diver was made and published by Mint Rocket. Mint Rocket is nothing but a subsidiary to Nexon, one of the largest video game publishers in existence. They seemingly created this company just for the chance to try and blend in with the other indie games. For what purpose? That could be another video. But just know that if you're directly backed by a company with almost $2 billion in yearly revenue, you're not independent. 2 more before we close out this video. Destiny 2 is nominated for Best Community Support. That's like nominating Epstein Island for Best Place to Send Your Kids for an unsupervised vacation. Destiny 2 is what people use as an example for worst community support. And finally, what is probably the most obvious, in-your-face attempt at censorship and favoritism. In Best Performance, do you notice anyone missing? Well, you should. Nowhere to be found is what will undoubtedly be considered the best performance of the decade. Young Ya's portrayal of Kiryu in Yakuza. If there is nothing else to make it clear the sheer, blatant corruption of this company, it is clearly this. If you wish to fight back on this and all other video game injustices, then you need to like, comment, share, subscribe for more videos. I will live stream the Game Awards when they premiere, so stay tuned for that. Oh, and don't forget to buy my tea.